But he got that juggernaut thing. So yeah.
Oh, we done started the show. Look at this. He think he's sneaky too. He was sneaky with it. He kept a straight face. He kept put that hat on.
Yep.
Nice hat. I like that hat. And he was just like, look at y'all talking.
So welcome back, fellow knowledge seekers. Yo, Charles Hazleton. I can't believe I messed that up. I gotta get my shit smooth. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I got MYECOMICS is the best. I guess you know why. So I guess when I make a mistake, you just gonna cut me off, huh? Midnight Assassin.
That's right. That's what I do. I'm
anyways, are back. Frankie J, Midnight Assassin, Real Revelation. And I know that the thumbnail only says Invincible. And, you know, I want to talk for 30 minutes about Invincible, but we got to talk about 3 shows. All right, 3 shows. Because Midnight Assassin, he was crying about his little mushroom show. And then Real Revelation's like, oh, hell no, y'all need to talk about Daredevil. We 4 episodes in. And, you know, so let's get into it. Let's start with Invincible.
Yes.
Woo,
boy.
Last episode.
Conquest.
Woo. Man.
That was a fight.
Oh man.
They saved the season's budget for that episode.
They did.
I kept noticing. I even had to ask my son, or my son noticed. He said the same thing, and I was like, okay, I thought the animation was a lot better.
Yeah.
From compared through the rest of the season. So
yeah, they held all the money, and they was just like right here.
Yeah.
Here. And man, it paid off. My man.
How he did Oliver.
Yo.
Conquest did Oliver.
I was surprised.
Oh man.
I let him go like that because he was like, I'm finna go help. And she was just like, wait, gave him a hug. You be careful. And then old Dan came in there. Man, TikTok be going crazy. They be showing dudes like, oh, this is Dan right here hugging Mark's mom and stuff. And like and then I like the dudes when they had like the fresh cuts. You see the dude with the fresh cut and he got a little mustache. It'd be any random dude, and they'll be like, yeah, Thrax.
Listen, so with the show, I'm gonna point out a couple things though. The animation was tight, but remember when Conquest took Mark to the beach and was fighting them? Why are there people on the beach after the Invincible War? Like, I wouldn't be coming outside. I would have been on no beach.
That's a good question. That is a real good
people
question.
Never leave. Like he smack dab in the middle of the city. Well, actually, you're right. After the war, but then people smack dab in the middle of the city. People still playing around in the buildings and stuff, and they're not leaving. People driving into the city, and then the beach scene, like it was just like his dad did to him, just smashing through folks and stuff. Like smash. I was just like, man, yo. I mean, it's like there is no leeway. Like it's like when these Viltrumites come, like people getting done in. Like it's limbs, everything all over the place. It's just gore. And it's and nobody can stop it. And then when Conquest leaned in and started whispering,
they scared of me. Like the other Viltrumites are scared of me.
But listen, that's a great storyline. And the dialogue back and forth between Invincible and Conquest. I mean, Conquest was laying that groundwork for the future, and just to see Mark get demolished over and over and over again, bro. Listen, when
bringing back flashbacks from Walking Dead.
Listen, when Conquest broke that dude's leg in a chop, that let me know. Oh, he been holding back on you, dog. The whole time he been holding back.
But y'all did catch that though, right? Y'all caught that reference, right? Getting flashbacks to Walking Dead because it was a reversal. Right. When Negan first popped up, who did he kill? The guy that does Mark's voice.
I ain't know
And the guy that played
that.
Negan is who did Conquest's voice.
I ain't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so
Nice.
both of them in the show.
Yeah, it was like a reversal. This time it was Mark, because I can't remember what his name was in Walking Dead, but he got he was the first one to get his head bashed in by Negan, and Lucille, I think, was the name of his bet. But now you got the reversal where it's
Right.
yeah. I thought that
Yeah.
was real slick how they did that.
Right. And I wanted to move into Adam Eve because
Man.
I kept doubting her skills through the entire show after watching her one-off. But then I forgot at the end of the one-off that they did tell the story part where she got mental blocks when she was a baby. So she can't access her full power. You know what I'm saying?
She
So
be changing people in the cups and stuff.
exactly. And so they gave us they flashed back all the way to her episode because in her one-off the same thing happened. She almost died again, and then her powers brought her back, so she's immortal. Also,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Even in the comics, when she was about to die of old age, she died, but then came back in a younger form.
damn.
Like right afterwards. So I don't see how you cannot see her as immortal.
So some people I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think of this on my own. I seen some people talking about it. They was like, well, why didn't Cecil try to get the blocks off of Adam Eve? And then somebody said that's the whole point. You don't want the blocks off of her.
Yeah. Because then she be the true Invincible.
Yeah.
But
she be
kill her and she can
changeable.
stop whoever she wants.
But that's what I'm saying. If you know the Viltrumites are coming, you might want to unleash your most powerful weapon. But honestly, you know what? Thank y'all. Y'all just helped me out with something. I was going to say, why Master Lou? That's what they need to bring on the battlefield and keep it body covered. That's what they need to bring out there for Conquest. I bet Master Lou would have gave that dude a run for his money.
Man, yep.
But I still don't know how Mark won.
He didn't.
What you mean?
He busted his face in.
Yeah, he busted his face right in. Like,
hold on. See, that's what I'm saying.
You'll be entertained. It's still fun for you. Huh? Bow. Bow.
Let me. As we watch shows, right, and movies and all this kind of stuff, we always look at it from the way we look at the world. Like the movement was Martin Luther King. Such and such led this team as the quarterback. No, Mark Man beat Conquest by himself. If Adam Eve wouldn't hit the field, Mark be done.
He didn't be about himself, but he bashed that head in.
Yeah.
Right. If it weren't for Adam Eve, that would be
because not only her helping, but also her getting, penetrated through the stomach.
Right.
Because that drove him crazy too.
Yeah.
Right. But I wanted to ask y'all,
eat them guts up.
Because my son was saying he was wondering how something about her, but he said something that he heard that something about her being pregnant at that time, except they just don't know.
Oh,
at the moment. Have y'all heard anything like that?
They have a kid. So the thing with Invincible is, except for some character tweaks here and there, what I've been seeing is that they made the show right behind the comic book. Like it's almost exact to the T. They may have changed some haircuts on the people. They might even changed like Shrinking Ray was a male. They made her into a female. But the storyline is so similar. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Endgame and End War where they changed a couple of things. Well, shit, they changed a whole lot of stuff. We didn't have a lot of heroes that was in there, but Invincible is right behind the comic book, and people if you go play online, people is telling the stories of of what's coming next. There's, like one person said, "Oh, you know, Conquest fought Invincible," and the dude was like, was this the first time Conquest showed up or the second time?"
Yeah.
It was on the Earth. Oh, that's the Invincible Wars. It's more coming.
Yeah, because I heard about because like the late stuff in the comics, I ain't gonna lie, when Invincible came out in the comics, it was kind of like The Boys with me, where I read it, it was cool, but the later like later issues, I wasn't really that into. I'm because I'm an X-Men person. I be like, I'm sticking with my X-Men shit. But I'm noticing, like The Boys, it seems like they're doing better with the show, especially with characters that they're fleshing out more, like Rexplode. Because in the comics, from what I remember, he wasn't they didn't go into depth as to like how he was as a person. You know what I mean? Like to where you really like you felt his death in the show. Like, oh man, that hurts because we've seen enough of him.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna add this to what you said too. Also, with the X-Men comic book versus like Batman and DC, with them, you know, they had to take people to jail. They might beat them down real bad, but in the X-Men comic book, the X-Men comic book is similar in so many ways to Invincible because you get the real life stuff. Like when Wolverine impale you with them claws, we send every drawing and everything, what he did, how you cut you up, this and that. But then the flip side to that is like when X-Men 97 came out, you know, you couldn't do back in 97 what you doing with Invincible now on TV. They just wouldn't allow it. You couldn't do what you doing with the boys now on regular TV, you know, and we still see it with NBC, CBS, and the rest of those regular channels that they don't go far. They'll push the envelope. CW, that's another one. They'll push the envelope, but they ain't going no farther than that. That's why we thought with Superman and Lois, we thought we was gonna get something extra with them, and then they started pulling back. But they gave us some good special effects, but then they start pulling back. Like, hold on, no, go out there because that right now is how you get raised, and that's why. Let me say this: that's why Amazon is leading on these dudes right now. Like Amazon had Batman, Amazon got the boys, Amazon got Invincible. It's like one more. Amazon, they kicking some ass on their show.
They need to have Amazon do the Sony Spider-Verse or whatever, because like what you saying, it upset me to why we saw more blood in Craven than we saw in any of the Venom movies. Like that, Venom is the character you expect to see a lot of blood from, but I get what you're saying.
No, you're right. And just to go over there for a moment, there are some characters that you cannot introduce without the hero. They can get a small part where you go to them and then bring them back, but you just can't bring out Morbius, Venom, and Craven by themselves, and you don't get enough. They're known, but they ain't got enough. What's the word I'm looking for? They ain't got enough client base. I want to say client base. They ain't got enough following built up behind them. Right. So like what they did with Vulture, we seen Vulture with Spider-Man. You know, we got hype. Let's see a little bit more of him. You know, Green Goblin. We seen him with Spider-Man. Let's see a little bit more of him. But other than that, and nobody cares about the Lizard. Doc Connors just never been interesting character.
You're right.
Bruh, Invincible Conquest coming on the scene. I'm gonna go watch that episode one more time because I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like I was invincible when I was 14 years old and I was getting beat up by the neighborhood bully. Because that's how it was. You know, the neighborhood bully.
That's how it was with me and my brother, it seemed like. Up until the point I got into high school and was his height.
Right. There you go. There you go. All right, so we're gonna move on.
I was gonna say I saw this video about Rexplode, and like it was that it went back and looked at that moment when Mark saw the future versions of them coming
Yeah.
and you see like Rexplode through the portal, and like Adam Eve said something like "Stop Rex" or whatever, "Stop being silly," whatever, and you think it's Rexplode, but then at the end, like you realize at the funeral that it was Rudy, and he changed his name.
Yeah.
And then, like when you go back and look at that, that when they came to the future, he was wearing Rudy's robot.
I noticed that too.
Rudy the whole time, Rudy, and it wasn't Rex. He changed his name to Rex, but it was Rudy. Rex was supposed to die the whole time.
Right. Oh, and I have one more thing to say. I love how Invincible messes with our heads when they copy other characters, because it's almost similar. The way that Rexplode died is almost similar to Gambit in X-Men 97.
Oh,
yep. Yep.
I didn't like that. Oh,
and he does basically like what Gambit does. That's very similar too.
It was so similar, and I was like, "Did they watch X-Men?"
Powers, everything, but now he don't have those powers because it's really Rudy.
Yeah,
it's Rex. That's crazy.
You think so?
What you mean? Like it showed it right there. Rudy he made a speech, and he was like, "I'm no longer Rudy. I'm Rex."
Yeah.
Wow.
When you go look at the future version, Rex is wearing the robot suit of Rudy.
I know.
Not Rex, it's Rudy. Huh?
Oh, okay.
So the future version of Rex was always Rudy because he had that robot suit.
You think Rudy went that far?
He said it at the funeral. He's like, "No longer, don't call me Rudy no more. Call me Rex." He told
Rex. We gotta call Midnight out though, because same way with you, Frank. Not watching Peacemaker. I don't see how you missing out on Daredevil.
Well,
yeah, go on ahead and tell the fans why you ain't watching Daredevil.
All right, man. I watched Echo, man, and like I saw it was like I ain't watched the previous Daredevil. I watched Echo, and I was like, I don't think like this CW type stuff is like worth like exploring again. So I ain't give it a chance, man. And then y'all tell me something different. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and like let me know what this show's about, and then if it sounds good, I'll probably give it a chance.
Man, for one, I feel it's kicking off right. It's kicking off pretty nice with what they did with Netflix when it was on Netflix. That first episode, I know I was pissed at first because I'm like, I know y'all ain't about to let Bullseye die that quick or that easy in the first episode. But then, of course, when he started breathing again, I was like, yeah, we got to see him later on. But I brought that up because of in this last episode, his conversation with
the Punisher,
Frank Castle. Yeah, that conversation, like, yeah, you could have, avenged him, but you didn't. You let your justice system play it out. You let the justice system play it out. And he's like, oh, he got life. And he's like, yeah, starts what's his dude that died? His
White Tiger.
No,
Froggy Wilson. Froggy Nelson.
Froggy. He's like, did Froggy get life?
Oh, listen.
Like, I was like, oh, that's pretty cold. That whole scene there, I like that.
That conversation between Frank Castle and Daredevil was a conversation like me and Midnight Assassin. We'd be eyes on some stuff. Man, Daredevil slapped him. Well, he slapped him and then grabbed him by the neck. He's like, I'm sorry,
yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
But listen. So the first episode, they always do it. The first episode, it was slow in the first 10 minutes or whatever. But then when Bullseye came out, so I don't want to spoil too much of it for you, but when Bullseye came out and did what he did, because what they did is they built up some stuff. Daredevil figured out that something was going down. So he went to the other side of the city, found out that was the wrong thing, and then Bullseye took out his boy. Listen, that fight scene with Bullseye and Daredevil was gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, it was gangster because Bullseye was hitting Daredevil with everything he had. It was like a real fight between two humans. They gotta beat each other, but they gotta take a rest in between. So it's like,
yeah, it reminded it was that scene. It was right when that hit that let me know, okay, they pretty much nothing changed from the Netflix.
Look,
like they gonna do it just like they was doing with the Netflix as far as seeing scenes like that, because we got a lot of scenes like that in the Netflix show.
Right, and look,
as far as the fight scene.
Right, and look, Bullseye didn't spare nobody. If you was in the restaurant, he hit you like way. You look. He didn't care. So he Bullseye was worse than the Joker and the Green Goblin or Megatron. You know, a Megatron. He gonna flick him off. Right, that is Bullseye. And then
like, if I see you out the corner of my eye, you got to go.
And then the way they have Daredevil moving, like he's reverie, but he fast. Just that move, how he move, they got that mastered down. They got that down pat. Now, then the next episode 2 was more of a dialogue. Or was it episode 1? Episode 1 and 2 is kind of blurry right now. But the dialogue between him and Kingpin, it's setting the future up for some other stuff. And then episode 3, with White Tiger, White Tiger. I feel sorry because he gone. Ain't no more White Tiger there.
I'm like, I was pissed at the Punisher at the end of that. But I was saying, like, unless it's what it could be, because
right. So in this show right now, by the 4th episode, we know that we have 4 antagonists. All right, we know that we're dealing with 4 antagonists. 1 is the police department. All right, 2 is Kingpin. 3, I can't remember the name of the guy in the bloody mask.
Muse. Yeah,
Muse.
That's the character.
Right, and then we got Bullseye still alive, and then we got Hector Ayala's this is his daughter. She's probably going to become the next White Tiger a little bit later on. But and then we got. I'm not talking about antagonists, but also we got to see the Punisher actually in the show, and see that's what I'm talking about. For me, when we start featuring other superheroes, now you got me.
What they gonna do with the Punisher, and what I think with the cops, because I obviously don't think he gonna take a liking to them using his symbol, kind of like real life. You know what I mean? How they be using that symbol. I think that's gonna set up his special, like how they did with Werewolf by Night. They doing one with him. And I'm hoping, or I'm thinking it might be that they're going to have him basically going after all them crooked cops.
And listen, it's a lot of them. So the head crooked cop that's on there, the guy, I can't remember his name, but
got beat up.
Right. He plays on Mayor of
Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown. He's a bad cop in that show. Like, so
he get typecast.
Typecast like a mug. But yeah, I like him as an actor. I didn't watch the Daredevil series on Netflix neither, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If nobody cared about Luke Cage, and I cared about Luke Cage, so I watched Luke Cage. I gave Luke Cage my love, but now that I watched that, I might go back and watch Daredevil. And yes, I'm gonna watch Peacemaker. If Superman don't flop, that need to be the show, because Monks is quiet over here about Superman, but they've been doing screenings, and they said it's not doing well with the pre-screeners. They having to do reshoots, but on my YouTube, page, all I see was Captain America's a flop. No one needs Captain America, but ain't nobody talking about Superman.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, but next week we will be discussing more Daredevil. Now, since we got 5 minutes left, Midnight Assassin, let's talk about your mushroom show.
All right, we talk about my mushroom show. That's right. Yeah, common side effects. When we go in, we find out that Harrington and Capano have finally like come back together, and they've like, you know, against all odds, against what everybody thought, they have figured out. Like they just put the pieces together at the horse race
on
like,
their own though.
On their own, it was on the whole time on
like
vacation.
They still got their separate partners,
right?
But...
And it's like, you know, the big company, like they were trying to like, you know, eliminate it. Rick himself went to his bosses like, hey, you know, we were working on trying to get this mushroom produced, and he just turned around and he's like, stop, don't even like push it no more, because like, you know, like just go ahead and like nix the project, because like, you know, like you have a job, people that, you know, people are sick and stuff, people need it. Like, you know, if you get rid of all our products, that like they get rid of all our products, it gets rid of all our pharmaceuticals, it gets rid of everything. Like, you know, then, you know, no one has works. And he's like, but it can cure everybody, but then no one will have a job and stuff. He's like, yo, you need to crush that project right now. So Rick had to crush it, and Rick disappeared. So when Applegate came back to the office, you know, Applewhite, she came back to the office looking for Rick. You know, she's ready to like go ahead and like, you know, make this thing like go crazy. Like he's cleared, like the whole place is cleared out. Like everybody's cleared out. The last secretary is there. She's like, what's the deal? Where's everybody at? Where's Rick at? He's like, he's not answering his phone. It shows this dude like he's just, you know, drinking beer like with the sprinkler, like a golf course with the sprinklers just hitting him in the face.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Marshall shows back up. You know, he gets out of jail. He takes that concoction and stuff that the lady who was working with the police, and she was like the mushroom scientist. She helped him out, helped him escape. He pretends like he's dead, or like, you know, like the concoction makes him he's dead. Goes to the morgue. She gets out. Then they watch the videos. Like, you know, this is fast forward. They watch the videos. They see that she broke him out and stuff. But then he goes back to Applewhite's apartment. Because then, you know, by this time they all figure out like Socrates is the key. You know, especially when he was talking to me, he was like, "Is there what was the catalyst? What was the catalyst?" And it was like, was it poop or something? He was like, "Oh my God, Socrates." So he goes back, grabs Socrates from her apartment, and he tries to like do it while she's not there. She catches him, boom. He's like, she's like, "I thought you were dead. I was like grieving and stuff." Well, I am to you, you traitor. Blah. He just goes off on her and stuff, like, you know, rightfully so. She's like, "I'm trying to do the right thing." Blah blah blah. Whatever. So then he, you know, takes off with the girl, goes back to his house. Goes back to his half brother's store, and he tries to like help Socrates out, so get him back to health again. Because I don't know what keeps happening to Socrates. He's always keep getting sick. Then they drive all the way back. Yes, yeah, they drive all the way back to the apartments. I mean, not the apartment, but the trailer and stuff. And the sheriff is there, and everybody's there. They all got this whole like setup and stuff, growing and stuff. I don't know how they growing it, but I saw like one dude cultivating him, so the Blue Angel and stuff. But then he's like, "Hey, you need to go inside and see the boss." We go inside, we see Tilly or Millie. She's the boss. After going around killing or trying to kill this dude, she done took over everything, bro. So like that's the cliffhanger right there. But then we see the other part where Rick he picks up Applewhite, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go to some mushrooms?" So there's something going on there as well, because like, you know, he was just a part of the pharmaceutical company. Now he's like, seems like he's branching off on his own, trying to figure something out. But that stupid little kid, he drew that picture of the turtle on the wall, and now Applewhite realizes the turtle is the key. So now everybody knows the turtle is the key. So it's gonna be something about them going to trying to get Socrates, and like they gotta protect Socrates and stuff. So I'm curious to see how like, you know, Capano and Harrington are gonna handle this, because now they know they got enemies everywhere. Like it's above them. And
got a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies.
I've had 3 turtles pass on me before I realized that if they don't have their specific diet, they get sick real quick.
Right.
I used to live in Florida. That's all we did was collect turtles, and they all kept dying. I could not keep one alive. Like it was crazy. Yeah, but yeah, that's my spell. And I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen on the next episode. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching.
I think that was a damn good rewind of what happened recently. So, yep.
Right. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're gonna get ready to close out the show. And next week, I'm like stuttering. I don't know why. I need to probably because I've been quiet.
Because you scared.
Anyways, next week we're gonna be discussing. We're gonna get on here. We're gonna talk about common side effects and Daredevil. All right, for Midnight Assassin and Real Revelation. So that means Midnight Assassin, you need to watch them 4 episodes because you got 7 days. And Real Revelation, you need to finish watching Common Side.
I'm pulling up on you. Put some respect on my name.
You already know what it is.
Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name.
All right, man. Go ahead and close. Go ahead and close us out.
Okay, I just want to give everybody.
NYECOE